Howdy everyone. So we're back here with the old Ford 8N, and the goal for today is to get it driving. So we know it runs, but we are going to see if it drives, as well as do some maintenance on it. So that is what we're doing today. All right, before we get into this, I'm gonna go around the tractor and show you what I've done since the last video. Now, we aren't behind the shed anymore. We're at my brother's acreage, beautiful acreage, just to give me a little bit more room to work on this, and so the neighbors don't get mad going down the back lane. So this is where it's born to be anyways. Now, what I've done is I have bought and installed a new alternator. I made a little bracket so that it would fit on the old generator bracket. It was 1/8 inch aluminum, and wired it up, tested it, and works great. I did go ahead and replace the carburetor with a new one. That was a little Amazon job. It was 50 bucks, and it seems to work fine. Beats the heck out of the old shaved bolt that we had before, and we've got studs here with lock washers, or locking nuts, which is great. What else have we done? I have greased all the joints just to make it easier to move around, as well as getting on and off the trailer. I did go ahead and install a new push button start to replace the old push button, which is here. I'd have to take the top of the transmission off here with the lever, and I just didn't want to do that. So this is seized, and this was $5 from Princess Auto, so you really can't go wrong. And it works great. Other than that, I went and I put the oil cap on just because it's dirty and dusty roads to get this at where we are, to get it here. And so put it on, so I didn't want any grit in there. And the last thing that I've done is I've painted the fan, because why not? So that's the gist of it. Now today, to get this driving, what we are going to do is we are going to get the rad on. We are going to get the hood on, which contains the fuel tank, and we are going to test this thing. So I think it'll work, but I'm not too sure because the clutch doesn't really want to cooperate. So maybe there's an adjustment there, but that's what we're going to do today. So let's get into it. Oh yeah, perfect. Just clears the fan blades. Awesome. Perfect. You can see there that the fan blade just misses the rad hose here. So that's good, that's good. And this is, that's not going anywhere. So that'll be fine. So our next step is to put the hood slash fuel tank, because the fuel tank's attached to the hood, on and go from there. Of course, I've got my helpers today, Roxy and Penny, who I believe is chomping on a grasshopper. What are you doing over there, silly? Huh? Huh, Penny? Hey, pee-pee? Good girl, Roxy. Good lady. So this isn't like a car hood that flips open one way or another, but it's all bolted on. So there's two bolts down here that need to go on with the front grille. The front grille is actually just kind of held in place with pressure. So we'll see how long that takes for it to come off. And struggling a bit because the throttle, which is right here, the lip of the hood didn't want to go on. It was getting caught in the throttle here. So once you bolt it in though, I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, seems pretty good. Perfect. I already went ahead and installed a fuel line filter, so keep some of that crud out. And the petcock, this has got gas in it now, so petcock's full. It leaks a bit, so I'll have to make a new gasket. Yeah, I'll go ahead and hook that up. Alrighty, the tractor's looking pretty good now. It's looking pretty good. So our next step is to fill the rad full of water. I'll also check the oil just in case, even though I filled it up last time I was tinkering on this. So let's fill the rad full of water. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna check the oil. Take a look at the oil, and it certainly has plenty. So I think we're okay to see if this will drive around the yard. While we're doing that, we'll go ahead and we will turn the sediment bowl on, or turn the fuel on. Ooh, that's stiff. There we go. So that'll be on, and I know it's flowing because I can see it's leaking a little, which isn't great because it's leaking, but it's good because I know fuel's coming through. And there is fuel in the inline filter. Great. So we've got that. We'll connect the battery. We'll see if it drives. Cool. Exciting moment. Let's see. Holy, that was way faster in fourth gear than I thought it was going to be. That was jump you out of your seat if you're not ready fast. Wow. Shifted through the gears great. I still have to get kind of used to how to shift this. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to shift through them all stationary. I don't think you're supposed to do it while you're driving, but I was, so it seemed to work. Didn't pop out of gear, and it was quite lovely and terrifying all at the same time. So pretty fun. Now what we're going to do, now that I know it runs and the clutch works, we are going to change the oil and the oil filter. I think the only thing right now that is an issue that will be fixed at a later date is the sediment bowl leaks a little. There's a little bit of gas coming out. They're very, very small amount, but there is gas coming out of there. But so otherwise, tires are holding there. The grill hasn't come off, which is great. The alternator is still on. The carb seems to be adjusted right. So the hydraulic lift, the back for the 3-point hitch, that's working. That's much easier to steer now that I've greased everything. And at half to full throttle, it's got 40 psi of oil pressure. So pretty good. There is some slop in the front bearings, which I'll have to address. But for now, what we'll do is we'll change the oil filter and we'll change the oil. So let's get to it. Hi, kitty. Hi, sweetie. Of course, I got oil all over my hand and all over my foot, but oil is pretty black, which is to be expected. I mean, there wasn't any oil when I got it, so that's everything being cleaned out there. What I do find interesting though is there are in the oil filter here, there are these little bits and bobs, which are actually grass. It's actually some vegetation that's in it. So we'll go ahead and we'll clean that up, and we'll put it back in. All right, so our next step here is to change the oil filter. So we'll go ahead and we'll drain it. I've got a bucket underneath here, so we'll just drain it to the bucket. Cool. That is the oil filter that came with this tractor. So I can imagine that it's pretty old and pretty used. So we'll go ahead and change that with a new one. So the oil filter doesn't start dry. What we'll do is we'll put some of the engine oil in here, about halfway. I think right there ought to be fine. A little bit more. Yeah, that looks good to me. Put the new one in. Oh, a little bit too much. That's okay. Good. Perfect. Now we'll just fill it full of oil. So for oil, we're putting a heavy duty 10W30 in it. I think these older engines like thicker oil like 1040 or even 2050, but this is all they had at Princess Auto, so this is what it's getting. Perfect. Job done. So if we check the oil, perfect. It's right about there, which is basically the full line. So, and nice and clear. So there we go. Like I said, job done. So we'll fire this thing up, let it run for a bit, and take it for a spin. Well, that's pretty good. I let it run for about 20 minutes. It's got great oil pressure. It stayed around 30, so it's happy with the new oil. Runs, drives, idles. I'm pretty happy with my little $250 tractor here. It still needs a bit more work. I need to hook up the lights. I need to put the air filter on. It's an oil bath air filter. I want to leave it off for a bit though, in case I need to make any more adjustments to it. Plus, I don't actually have any more oil to put in it, so that's another factor as well. But it's good. It's good. Very pleased. But the dogs are quite hot now because it's such a hot day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them over to the pond in the tractor. So I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching. For those wondering what the next video is going to be, it is going to be getting my 1979 barn find Mazda RX-7 working. So stay tuned.